Come on.
Are you on purpose not hitting it? Yes, because I'm going to hit it one. Oh! No. Yes.
Welcome to Reconstructing the World, Christmas Party Edition.
Yes.
Okay, so Anders Lendager, most sustainable architect in the world. Yes, he is. What are we doing today?
I think that we are very close to Christmas, and we've actually had 1 year of reconstructing the world.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really fantastic chapter.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about what happened this year.
Yeah. What have we been through this year? And of course, this is this baby here, as I called it actually in the first program. I actually think I called it this baby here.
The baby.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about this wonderful project, Tre, which is now finished.
It's finished. After just 1 year, think about it, 20 floors in wood and upcycled materials.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I was I was like, nah, that's.
Remember, maybe we can cut to our kind of first day at the building site.
Yeah, let's do that.
Here we are.
And here we are.
Fantastic. Right?
Anders,
It's beautiful.
you fucking did it.
Yes.
You built something out of wood.
It's very nice.
But Anders, now it's finished.
Yes.
And so let's do like TikTok kind of thing where what is the three most thing in this building that you're proudest of?
Yes. The most kind of on the material side.
Yeah.
Or in general.
Yeah.
Because I think
In general.
I mean I'm very proud that that the building is leased out, and that's been kind of almost a queue for people that wanted to move into this sustainable office building. I think that's
meaning what he's really happy about is that the contractors, the clients,
Yeah.
actually made their money back. That's what he's saying. He's most sustainable architect in the world.
No. I think it's so important that when we talk about these type of projects,
Yeah.
if we say and claim that they are sustainable in some way,
Yeah.
then it's super important that they also are a good business model.
Of course.
Because if we want to accelerate it, even though it's money from the dark side, as we call it, that invest in buildings, right? If we want them to invest and make green investments, it needs to be a good investment. Otherwise, they won't do it.
I'm not sure they're calling it from the dark side.
One of the main things is that we've succeeded in a huge team with high complexity to create a building that someone wants to work in every day, and that it's attractive. That's one thing.
And that is actually super
That's a really
cool.
important thing.
That's really important.
And the next thing is that almost all the materials, like all the innovations that we set us up to investigate and see if we could build with, we actually succeeded on it. And so if I should just start with some of the important things, you can't maybe call it an innovation, but in Denmark, when we started, the highest building in Denmark was around 3-4 stories high, and this one is 20.
Come over here and
building with wood as a kind of instead of steel and concrete has succeeded in a built environment where we hadn't seen it before. And then
and this is one of the tallest three building in the world in Scandinavia, right?
Yeah, there's one in Sweden and one in Norway. There is approximately the same height. They're around 17 floors. Ours are 20, but they have kind of a bigger structure on top. So if it's about measuring who has the biggest, they actually have the biggest one in Norway, I think. In this case, I think I'm super proud of business model, the wood structure, and then, of course, also the innovations on materials.
Yeah.
The windmill wings that we made a whole chapter of. Like, was that possible at all? It shouldn't have been possible.
No.
We made it possible through a lot of innovation and development that we showed you in a whole chapter. And I think that's a great success it has been a very expensive product, must say.
Must say.
But it also shows the potential of moving something from being completely waste to something that pushes the agenda. And now the windmill industry, because it's not only about creating product, the windmill industry says and has said that now that they want to recycle all their materials, like all the wings needs to be recycled. So they are doing innovations also for that. So we've been pushing that agenda with this project as well.
And we're actually, maybe we can tease for it now, but you actually have a project with windmill wings.
Oh yes.
And actually, we forgot to say that through this episode, we also are, reading comments on the YouTube channel, because the YouTube channel is actually very popular now, and also our Instagram.
Thank you.
So we're reading comments from you guys.
Yeah.
Some are constructive, some are just pure joy. Some are also a little critical. Yes, most sustainable architect in the world, Anders. As a part of end of the year, we are also going to read some comments to take in critique.
Yes.
And be serious about it.
Yeah.
Because people are very, very responsive to our channel, both on Instagram and on our YouTube channel. Can we see one of the comments?
Yeah, I have one here, which is from Lemton episode. About the cheese walls.
Oh, I'm looking. The
cheese walls.
The earth. Oh, the cheese walls. Okay.
What is this material? What do you think? It is cheese and clay.
Cheese
and clay.
No.
Yes.
Is this cheese? No. I don't want to put a damper on this, and I realize it would have understandably not been considered, but this is actually dangerous for those who have severe dairy allergy, and I think foodstuff in building materials should be looked into very cautiously. I love the wording foodstuff.
I guess that he's referring to that if people, which I like that thought, licks on the walls or on the floor. Yeah. So if you're a typical floor licker, then potentially you could kind of get an allergic reaction.
Okay.
And I think it's something that the buildings legislation is not really looking out for.
To be serious, I think that he...
I am serious.
Yeah, but I think he's thinking that being surrounded by cheese walls, I think he's referring to that's really annoying. Being surrounded by cheese in itself can cause an allergic reaction. Not licking on it. Just be close to. But that's also weird because people who are lactose intolerant, they
can walk through the dairy kind of section in a supermarket
without being.
I guess so.
Okay.
One thing that I was really kind of not afraid of, but a little bit. I mean, I didn't sleep that much. Was the fact that we were using
that term afraid of.
The fact that when you work with a material, and you can see that on the finished project, where the sheets, and also when we did the test where you were driving over the sheets with your Tesla, to kind of play with the shapes and that part. That was of course for fun, but the fact of starting to working with these materials on that scale, all of a sudden you see one sheet and it becomes that whole building.
Yeah.
You never know if it if it works 100%, right?
No.
So even though you test, this was the first kind of clue where we could see that the geometry and the pattern really did something right. You can see when you move around with the camera, the light changes, and the flat sheets from the waste aluminum from mailboxes together with the trapeze shaped roof aluminum, that pattern actually works. And when you see the finished building, I really think that works tremendously well, because in a gray weather, it kind of absorbs the surrounding.
Yeah.
When the sun hits it, it starts to reflect, becomes red, yellow, and so on. So I think it really brings the building
so
alive.
it's a building that really adopts the
I really
weather.
think so. Yeah,
That's cool.
That's
and you
really
didn't
cool.
and you didn't know that. You hoped for that.
we hoped for it, but it was the balance between having a building where the municipality was afraid that it would reflect so much that neighbors were would get sunlight from the shading from the aluminum sheets.
Yeah.
To a building that breaks it because they're on an angle, so they don't do that. So the light kind of gets thrown up in the air instead.
Okay.
But it still reflects the colors of the surroundings.
This is from the Karstad episode with Dorte. Fantastic project, and always I appreciate your commitment to reuse and circularity of material. But how well are these buildings going to perform? This is a huge amount of glazing, especially on the facade of the new building. What will the heating and the cooling loads be like? Why not close off some of the curtain walls? I have seriously no clue of what this person is talking about.
I would love to hear your interpretation of this.
What he's saying is that with reusing materials, is there any differences in the way a building is cooling and heating and giving off coldness
No.
and heating?
But we know what he's asking. But you should try and answer it.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're reframing the question.
Yeah, that's my answer.
That's what you do when you don't have an answer.
Great. Thanking. So you might be the most sustainable architect in the world, but you're also the most bully architect in the world right now. But
Yeah, it is the building sector. I mean, that's a tough business.
that should be your...
No, I wanted to give you I thought it was fun that you probably didn't know curtain wall.
I actually don't know what a curtain wall is. What is a
Right?
curtain wall?
Yeah. Okay, so a curtain wall is a window facade. So because it goes all the way up and everything is glass, you call it a curtain wall facade
All right.
in glass. So it's not very fluffy like this is.
No.
So it's not like that, a curtain, but
And
it's a curtain
it's not
wall
the, it's
in
not the
glass.
same facade as on
It's what
træ.
it's when you have a classical high-rise where everything is glass all the way up. That would be called a curtain wall facade.
Great.
But it's a very good question. What we hoped to do on that project was to recycle the windows. So there was a lot of old windows, old glass, and we were actually working together with one of the largest German glass pane manufacturers, like the glass facades. So we wanted to disassemble the old thermal windows and then assemble them again with a new gas and a new aluminum frame in the middle, which you have, and then assemble the glass again. And then you make kind of a new updated thermal window and potentially add a third layer if necessary.
Yeah.
So the idea was to actually, which is the most CO2 intensive part, that's the glass. It's 90% of a window is the glass production. So it would live up to the standards of kind of the energy performance, and at the same time, it would save a lot of CO2 by direct recycling and kind of upcycling the old windows to a new product. And that was kind of, or is the idea for that. And so the amount of glass, and that's of course where you actually hit the Achilles heel for all architect renders. Because when you see the renders, you're right, they are more glass and transparent than we're allowed to build. Because when a building hits the building code, there's amount of facade you're allowed to have in glass versus a massive facade. So you live up to energy standards and also to daylight. So you don't have too much daylight in your indoor environment. So actually, the non-donkey is actually looking at it the right way. We need to reduce the amount of glass in the realization of the project. So,
Great.
well seen.
But Anders, the crazy shit is that now there is a building.
Yeah.
And how many years did you go with this building in your heart, or in your soul, and in your...
How long we've been working on it?
Yeah.
From the start.
No, it's also in your imagination. A building starts in your imagination, right?
It started 13 years ago, right? So when
13?
Yeah, when I started the company, where we did we were started with the idea of using waste as a resource and doing innovations that creates materials and pushes the agenda for what a sustainable building could possibly be, and continuously push it. And I think that with this, we also show that it can be one of the most complex building typologies, because that's what it is.
You spent 13 years imagining this kind of architecture, and now you have it. And the reception has been great. You're winning prizes. You're getting great reviews.
Yeah. There's one thing I want to measure.
Yeah.
Or mention, sorry. One thing we haven't talked that much about, but I think we are going to, even though the building is now in use, and then there's life in the building. And I think an important thing is that we've always also worked a lot, and especially our client have worked on the whole social side of sustainability for the building. Because of course, a structure like this is an invasive building.
Yeah.
Especially in this side where you have small structures around it, historical buildings. You also have people kind of outside society that it's fragile, that lives in the area, and how do you build in that context? So there's functions like det kærlige køkken, which is a kitchen, a woman, the lovable kitchen, who's making food for both for homeless and families that are needs help in the everyday. And so the loving kitchen is trying to help, and that they have a kitchen, have a place in this building. There's also what is called Sydhavnspedellerne, which is people that are homeless that are hired to actually work in the area and have just a simple job to have an everyday where they both clean the area around it. They've been doing that on the building side to kind of become part of this project as well. And I think this way of having a social side to this also, that new developments is not only about the new cafe or wine bar and restaurant, but it's also
which is also there, but it's actually having this scalability of how to engage with the context. And the context is not only yuppies and new companies and bigger companies. It's also about understanding who actually lives in the area and trying to include that on their premises, not only in what we imagine, but what they actually think is the right way that we include them in this project. So we're going to do a whole chapter on that, because Rune Kilden, who's actually the client in this project, has really worked a lot with that, and actually been, if you can say, an intern in this area, and tried to kind of understand how this works. So I think that's an important chapter to get on point as well with the project. It's probably about Anders, so let him take the heat.
Interesting content.
Great.
Starts good.
Great.
However, I think the channel would benefit from having the guy with the cap stay out of the fucking frame and keep quiet, because it annoys the shit out of me and I want to put him out.
Yeah. You're the one with the cap. No.
Read more. Yes, please. Then Nathan Nostrow, he comes in.
Okay.
Yeah, every word from him was limiting. The genuine info and explanation comes from the other guy.
I love this. Just keep on going.
Then Manu Prosa, 8778, comes to our rescue.
Okay, great. What is it?
I think so. I respect your opinion, but I also believe these videos are primarily made to be an approachable introduction for a wider audience to sustainable building practices. It sounds like you're genuinely interested in the topic of this channel, so you're probably doing more detailed and deeper research anyway. There are already monotonous deep dive into all of these topics on the internet, but no one knows about them because it's boring, like, it doesn't say that, unless it is presented like this channel with a fun guy with the hat. For the TikTok generation in particular, ha ha ha.
And we have been doing a lot of TikTok through the channel's life. No, I actually think we should respond in a serious matter here, because obviously I'm the guy being referred to, and the man with the cap. And when we set out to do this channel, you had this wish that we could communicate.
A death wish.
You had this wish that we could communicate in a broader way, right? That this was something that people could engage in.
Yeah.
And I pitched to you, hey, then maybe I can be that guy trying to be more of an idiot or somebody who could ask the stupid questions. And also
That'd be
interrupt
fun.
with jokes. Yeah, obviously.
I mean, there's hundreds saying that you're fun on us. At least 10.
hundreds, tens.
No, I think I'm the bad actor also. So now I'm going to be serious. When I've done these types of projects most of my career, trying to see as far we could go with sustainability and circular materials and all these things that we talked about in all the programs. But the problem has always been, and that's why when I met Anders in a totally different setting, I said, why can't we communicate what we do so that we can learn about what we've done? Because when a building is finished and we hand over the keys to whoever moves in or to the clients, then all the difficulties, all the discussions, all the innovations, all the knowledge totally disappears. It's only about just using the building. And it's such a shame because there's so many other people in the industry or that could be inspired or are in the exact same situation, but we don't share the knowledge.
No.
So I asked Anders, what could we do? Is it a documentary? Is it a normal film just representing the project? And then he said, check this out. And you found some super cool...
Martin Dullar.
Martin Dullar. And in our first meeting, where we didn't know each other that well, we were looking at one of his chapters.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the most, can I say that? Slow, interesting program.
You're also boring.
Super boring, very slow.
I love it.
But I just got sucked into it, and I really liked it. And the fact that you have time to just relax, lower your shoulders, you're not scrolling, you're not everywhere, you're just focusing on that is such a nice thing that we forgot now that Flow TV is basically dead. So this was maybe an opportunity to spend time and let us be nerdy, and if you don't like it, it's okay. But if you actually need the knowledge and want to be inspired, and that it's not just 30 minutes, super nerdy, boring, just only talking about nuts and bolts, that's what we wanted to do.
Just to be serious also, I totally agree. I am annoying. I am trying to be funny. I am trying to humor the situation, and I'm also trying to make it more light. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. I get it. And if you try to be funny, you don't find me funny. That's also okay. Then you don't need to watch it. There's plenty of other channels you can go out there and watch. But we are...
Where they actually are funny. Other funny, way more funny channel.
But one thing, and I want to end here.
Yeah.
I actually see the point already from the model about beans in front of windows.
Oh, you do? You love
Remember?
them? Yes.
How much I was like, how the fuck could anybody put a bean in front of a window? So, and now you actually see it already on the model. I already gave you the credit and I praised you in one of the other programs where I say, hey, and now I see it.
Yeah.
But I actually see it from the model at the first time, already now.
Fantastic. Thank
so,
you.
Congrats on
cross racing.
Oh, you are most sustainable architect in the world. Should we?
All right.
Let's do one more.
One more.
Yeah.